is a little wood. What time is it?
Somewhere around 1 or 1:30. Not so sure since I had that 35-cent cleaning job at the Hooterville watch shop.
Well, it don't matter. Nothing pressing till the afternoon school run. Why don't we pull on down to Morgan Creek and get in a little fishing, huh?
I like to, Charlie, but I can't.
Why?
Well, I've been invited for tea by the widow, Sarah Lawrence.
At 1 o'clock? Ain't that a little early for tea?
I guess she just can't wait till 4 o'clock to see me.
Well, if you've gone so high society that you'd rather drink tea than go fishing, I reckon that's up to you.
I can't help it if I'm in demand.
Lately, you sure been a hot item with the widows.
I do seem to be entering a romantic period in my life.
It's a good thing a body don't have to depend on you for permanent company. I got Joe and Kate and the girls. You can just fritter away your time any way you please.
We're getting pretty close to Sarah Lawrence's place. Would you mind dropping me off?
I wouldn't mind a bit. Don't spill any tea in your lap.
What are you going to be doing?
Don't worry about me. I'm going up to the Shady Rest where a fella can find some real company. I'll pick you up on the school run.
I invest in a few dollars in the building of beautiful Shady Rest Park.
Joe, just the man I'm wanting to see.
Well, if it's a loan you want, you're out of luck. I'm flat broke.
It ain't that at all. I just came by Morgan Creek, and them trout is just a-begging to get caught. How's about you and me accommodating a few of them?
Not today. I have to finish my speech for the Hooterville Chamber of Commerce.
You're making a speech? What about?
My speech is called Ways to Financial Success and Security Through Sound Investments.
Can't you finish it tomorrow?
Tomorrow's the day I have to give the speech. Sometimes I think Hooterville asks too much of me.
Oh, hi, Charlie. Nice to see you.
Well, I'm glad somebody's glad to see me. I was beginning to think I was a one-man measles epidemic.
What?
Oh, nothing. Kate, I heard some real interesting gossip this morning. Would you like to sit down and hear it?
Oh, Charlie, I don't have time for sit-down gossiping. This is my big cleaning day.
Kate, you are the busiest, hardest working woman lately. We used to have time to sit down now and then and talk.
Well, you see, Charlie, nowadays, with the girls growing up and the hotel running down, I'm busier and busier.
Yeah, I understand, Kate. Hi, Billy Joe.
Hi, Charlie.
You got a minute?
I got all the time in the world.
Great. Let's have a game of checkers, huh?
Well, I haven't got that much time.
Oh?
Charlie, I'd love to play checkers with you, but
You got to go get ready for a date with your boyfriend.
That's not true. I've got a dancing lesson to go to.
And then you got a date with a boy.
How'd you guess? Oh, Charlie, if you really want me to, I'll play checkers with you.
Oh, no. Now, you just go and dance up a storm. I got to go anyway.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Time for the school run, and I got to go pick up my sidekick, otherwise known as your sister Betty.
There's nothing I enjoy more than talking to you and running the Cannonball.
Oh, it's nice when people have something in common.
I feel the same way, Charlie. Why, you and the Cannonball are just about the two best friends I've got.
I'm sure glad you feel that way. Say, would you like to blow the whistle?
Why? We're way past Dead Man's Curve. There's no reason to blow it here.
Go on, blow it anyway. Betty Joe, I got a great idea.
What is it, Charlie?
What do you say we give the old Cannonball a real going over today?
Oh, gee, Charlie,
She's in a pitiful state of disrepair.
Isn't she always?
Well, sure, but right now she's at her disrepairiest. I think she's got some mud in her belly again.
Oh, poor old Cannonball.
I'll tell you what. When we get up to the Shady Rest, you get into some jeans, and we'll wash her out together.
I'd love to, but...
We'll clean the grate and the ash pan at the same time. We ain't done that together in quite a spell.
I know, but you see...
Slow her down, Betty Joe. We're coming into the Shady Rest for a whole afternoon of real interesting work. Slow her down, Betty Joe.
I can't.
Sure you can. Just adjust the pickle fork hinge and pull back on the brake lever, same as always.
No, I mean, I can't. Oh, I'll explain when we stop, Charlie.
Joe, let's you and me get to working on this little old cannonball. Let's hop to it.
Charlie, I've been
Hey, look who's here. Hooterville's Hot Rod Romeo.
Hi, Betty Joe.
Orville, it's you.
Of course it's me. Who else would it be?
Charlie, that's what I've been trying to tell you. I'm spending the afternoon with Orville.
Yeah, we have the whole week planned, haven't we, Betty Joe? Well, come on, let's go.
Well, Charlie, I'd love to help you, but I can't. You understand. See you tomorrow, Charlie.
That done it.
Oh, careful, Charlie. That hat cost 89 cents.
I won't be needing the darn thing anymore. I'm through running the cannonball.
Oh, come on, Charlie. Stop kidding around.
I finally come to my senses. There's nobody around here got any time for me. And I'm not spending the rest of my days sitting up there in that engine being lonely and miserable.
Charlie, you gotta be kidding. You just gotta.
You find out if I'm kidding. I'm quitting the cannonball forever, and you can just get yourself a new engineer.
Charlie, I wouldn't try to talk you out of anything except what'd make you unhappy. I just know you wouldn't like it out there in the big city by yourself.
Oh, the heck I wouldn't, with all them big fancy movie theaters and all them big league baseball games.
Charlie, you've been hurt and you're trying to hit back. But the only one that's going to get hit is yourself.
What do you mean?
Well, this is your life. You need your old friends, and they need you.
My old friends has been a-needing me like the walking pneumonia. They all think I'm old and useless. That's what they all think.
Everybody does not think that.
Well, maybe not everybody, but most everybody.
Now, Charlie, you got to come to your senses.
It's no use, Kate. My mind is made up. I've arranged for my replacement, and as soon as I get him broke in, I'm off to Broadway.
Broadway? Well, that's in New York.
Well, if that's where it is, that's where I'm a-going. I'll send you a postcard.
Did just what I thought you would. Blew it. It takes a man to talk to another man about a man's problems.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's time I stepped in with my reasoning and straightened Charlie out.
Oh, Uncle Joe, please, when it comes to who should handle a delicate situation, experience has taught me which one of us it ought to be.
Right. And you stay out of it and leave it to me. Charlie, how long's me and you been friends?
Well, not counting the times we weren't talking after you'd cheated me in checkers, I'd say 40-odd years.
Exactly. And you know I'm honest as the day's long.
Sure, but let's not make this day long, okay?
Charlie, now a man's got to be practical. Some of us, like me's got a lot of talent. We can do anything. We got the spirit of youth.
Well, Sonny, is that a fact?
Sure. Others like you, old buddy, get to aging up before your time.
Just call me prune face.
So take a tip from an old friend. When you got an easy touch like running a cannonball, hang on to it. Without it, you're dead.
Are you just about done talking?
Just about.
Well, then you listen to me. I'm still young, strong, and useful, and I can get along any place in the world. France, China, Cincinnati, any place.
Oh, Mom. Orville and I just had the most wonderful walk in the moonlight.
Oh, was the moon out tonight?
Of course it was, silly. It was big and round and bright.
Oh, I guess that's why we weren't stumbling.
Orville, how would you like to go in and sit on the sofa and talk?
Oh, I've got a better idea.
Oh, what, Orville? What?
Why don't we stay in here and have a piece of that pie?
Orville, if all you're interested in is pie, you don't need me. Good night.
Wonder what's the matter with her?
If you don't know, there's no way of telling you.
Well, I guess I better be going.
I guess so, or...
Here, Orville, take this with you. Eating pie in the moonlight is dynamite.
Oh, thanks a lot. Well, good night, Mr. Carson, Mr. Bradley.
Good night, Orville.
You know, that boy worries me.
What?
He's so romantic, I'm afraid he's gonna sweep Betty off her feet and drag her to the altar.
I'd rather have Orville a little too slow than a little too fast. Think of our problem if he was serious about marrying Betty Jo.
We need to think about it.
Me too. Supposing that was our problem. Maybe that'd be a way of keeping Charley here.
What are you talking about?
Well, since your talk with him didn't work out so well, I was
Now,
thinking...
don't be like that, Kate. Every man's entitled to one mistake in judgment in a lifetime.
Oh, certainly, Uncle Joe.
Charlie made his when he didn't listen to me.
Yeah, boy. But maybe we can bring Charley round by tempting him with a new job.
What are you talking about? Charlie can't do nothing but run a train.
Oh, yes, he can. Besides running the Cannonball, he likes to give advice best. I am about to have a little talk with Mr. Charles Pratt, marriage counselor.
Gosh, Kate, I never realized that things was so serious between Betty Jo and Orville.
Charlie, I tell you, that boy's so all fired up, you don't know what he's apt to do next.
That's right. Any day now, he's liable to drag my poor baby sister off to the justice of the peace.
Gosh, Kate, I wish I could help you.
Oh, you can help, Charlie. That's why I'm appealing to you. You know, you've been just like a father to Betty Jo.
Well, you want me to talk to Betty Jo?
Oh, no, she's too far gone. Our only hope is for you to convince Orville that he should think twice before rushing into this mad marriage.
Well, Kate, I sure would love to help you, but I'm due to leave town soon. As a matter of fact, I'm picking up my replacement tomorrow.
Well, Charlie, if you could talk to the boy before you left, I'd be real indebted to you.
Okay. As a parting gesture to you, Kate, I'll do it. I haven't got much time, but I'll talk some sense into that boy's head.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. Oh, my, it's nice to have someone to depend on in a time of need.
Thanks, Charlie. Thanks so much.
Oh, don't mention it. Goodbye, y'all.
Bye, Charlie.
Bye. I didn't think he'd swallow it. Orville's no more thinking of marrying Betty Jo than I'm thinking of marrying Floyd.
You know it and I know it, but Charlie doesn't know it. And making up a little human problem for him to solve might be just the way of keeping him here.
Orville, you ought to realize that getting married is a big step.
I realize that.
Yes, sir. The biggest step you'll ever take.
Well, it's a big step, all right.
It's a step that before you take that step, you ought to watch your step. See what I mean?
I guess.
Now, it's not that Betty Jo isn't a fine girl.
Oh, she's tops.
She's tops, all right. But Orville, she's a little young.
Yeah, but she's bound to get older.
She's gonna get older, and you're gonna get older. And both of you are gonna get a little older, and that's the time to do it.
Do what?
What do you think we've been talking about? Time to get married.
But Mr. Pratt, I'm not thinking of getting married.
Not? You never was you?
Never entered my head.
I get it. You're Kate's brainchild.
No, I'm a maid's boy. I belong to my mother.
Horrible. Kate figured that if I gave you some advice, it'd make me feel important and useful, and I wouldn't want to leave.
She did?
But it won't work. I'm old and useless, and I know it. We're coming into Hooterville, and I'll pick up my replacement here.
Mr. Pratt?
Tuttle?
Yes. When do you want to start breaking me in to replace you, sir?
Sooner the better. Get aboard, son.
Oh, thank you.
Tuttle.
That's right. You're soloing like a veteran engineer.
Thanks. I wish you could see me running a top-rate engine. How old did you say this wagon is?
Oh, 75 years.
It's amazing.
What is?
It's amazing that it still holds together.
She's old and rusty, but she's got tradition.
Better blow the whistle, Mr. Tuttle.
Why? There's no crossing.
Charlie always blows it along here to remind Fred Ziffel it's time to feed his pigs.
Now, look, I'm running the Cannonball now, and it's going to be run like a train, not an alarm clock.
Start slowing down.
There's no stop here.
There is today. Maud Whipple is visiting her sister in Quint City, and Charlie told her that we was going to stop and milk her cow.
We're 33 minutes behind schedule, and you expect me to stop to milk a cow? Well, you better forget it, because we've got to pick up time.
What for? You don't want Maud Whipple to come home and find her cow all swelled up, do you?
Do you, Mr. Tuttle?
Look, I don't know from cows.
Your people either, I'm thinking.
There he is, Orville. You can thank him for yourself.
Oh, Mr. Pratt.
Hi, Orville. What's up?
Well, I just want to thank you for what you've done for me. You really helped straighten me out.
Kate, you didn't have me fooled very long about Orville and Betty Jo getting married.
Oh, of course not, Charlie, but that's not what he wants to talk to you about. Tell him, Orville.
Well, sir, just hanging around you for a while has got me to thinking. Eventually, I'd like to become an engineer just like you.
Kate, it won't work. I'm quitting, and that's that.
Are you saying that I put him up to that?
Oh, Kate, why don't you just mark it down as a nice try?
Now, listen here, Charles P. Pratt. And I think I know what the P stands for. Pig-headed.
It does not. It stands for Palmquist. That's an old family name.
I don't care what it stands for, but I'm not going to stand for you belittling a boy who tried to pay you a sincere, honest compliment right from his heart.
Now, just a darn second, Kate.
Just a darn second yourself. You are walking out on people who love you and need you and depend on you.
Well, if that's the case, I ain't had no evidence of it.
Of course not. Folks around here don't go around telling each other they like each other or need each other. They just do, and that's that.
Watch it, Kate. You get him riled up, he won't even send us a postcard from where he's going.
I am just trying to stop Mr. Pratt from stomping on people's feelings before he leaves, especially this honest, sincere boy, and you stay out of this.
Yeah, stay out of this.
Go ahead, do what you like to us, but don't make us sorry we ever loved you.
Mom, the whole valley's up in arms. It's terrible.
What's the matter?
Everything. Well, Fred Ziffel's pigs are starving. Maud Whipple's cow's been mooing its head off for a friendly pair of hands. Bruce and Treadwell's chickens have been doing a lot of cackling and no laying because the Cannonball keeps going by his farm so fast. Everyone in this valley's so confused they don't know what to do because the Cannonball's been keeping to schedule. And it's all your fault, Charlie.
I'm warning you, everybody. Not even a postcard. You watch.
Howdy, everybody. Howdy, Quitter. Oh, I mean Charlie.
What's going on? What's all the noise?
Nothing, Billy Joe. We're just giving Charlie a nice, friendly send-off.
And don't let it get to you, Charlie, old boy. Just leave quietly and pretend this never happened.
For goodness sakes, be quiet, Joe. I haven't got so much attention since 40 years ago when I fell in Emmy Hatton's punch bowl.
Tuttle fellow likes to see you on the front porch, Quitter. Charlie. Sorry, Charlie.
Oh, it's okay, Floyd.
I may not be as smart as some of these other furious people around here, but that ain't saying that I ain't furious, too.
Well, thanks, Floyd. Best I go talk to Tuttle.
Sure, Charlie, why don't you do that? He doesn't know you like we do. He might fall all over you.
Anything wrong, Mr. Tuttle?
Oh, no. I always walk around carrying a brake handle. It's kind of a fun thing to do.
Well, you shouldn't have taken the brake off. It's real troublesome to get it back on.
It came off in my hand while I was trying to stop that train. A brake handle being kept in place by a pickle fork? Why, that's ridiculous.
Sure is. They don't make pickle forks like they used to.
Do you know what I'm going to do, old-timer?
Quit. That what you gonna do? You are gonna quit, ain't you?
No, not on your life. I'm going to stay right here, and I'm going to whip this railroad into shape.
You are? I mean, you are? Bless you. Bless you. I knew that if I kept trying out replacements, I'd find at least one brave man left in railroading.
Brave? What do you mean, Mr. Pratt?
Outsiders don't understand men like you and me. To us, the spirit of railroading is everything in life, right?
Well, I wouldn't quite say that.
Some folks thinks it's a hardship on engineers to get up at all hours, be a farmhand, a midwife, a one-man fire department, heaven knows what else. We love it, don't we, Tuttle?
You mean they expect engineers to do all of those things? Well, that's ridiculous. Why don't you just tell them to get lost?
I ain't never said get lost to the wrong end of a shotgun, Tuttle, have you?
Now you're kidding me, Mr. Pratt. People here have forced you to do work at shotgun point?
Oh, they just load it with rock salt. Oh. A blast in the britches with that'll smart a little, but it sure does wake you up effective.
Shotguns? Rock salt? And you think I'm going to want to stay here?
Well, you've got to, Tuttle. Your railroading's only hope in these parts.
Oh, no.
Mine, too. Doctor gave me the news last week. I'm aging too fast. I'm heading for that big roundhouse in the sky.
Oh, I had no idea, Mr. Pratt. I'm terribly sorry.
Me, too. Come next month, I would have celebrated my 34th birthday.
You're only 34 years old?
Not quite. But don't pay me no never mind. Keep up the traditions of railroading. Carry on.
I'm sorry, but you better tell them to get somebody else because I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Hey, come back, please, come back.
Forget it!
Okay, I'll do just that. How do you like that? That Tuttle fella just up and flat quit.
He did?
For no rhyme or reason.
Say, Charlie, if you were to stay on, it sure would please the folks in this valley.
You reckon?
If you'll stay, Charlie, I'll give you any name in my wither book.
Even Sarah Lawrence?
No, anyone but Sarah Lawrence.
I might even pretend to let you win at checkers.
What do you say, Charlie?
There's only one thing I can say. There's a train that runs through this wide valley that is loved by one and all. It's the train that starts way up in Pixley called the Hooterville Cannonball. Well, she makes her run through the dead of winter, through the summer, spring, and fall. Neither cold nor heat nor flood can stop her. She's the Hooterville Cannonball.
That's very, very good. Of course, it'd be better with boys. Anything's better with boys.
Yeah, here. Add these to the decorations and get busy. Where's Uncle Joe?
In the dining room, Mom.
Uncle Joe, you promised to hang that sign out front for us.
Kate, I've only got 2 hands and 1 mouth.
Well, I guess the girls and I can manage it.
How about a little help from your hobo friend?
Who?
That no-good moocher that's taking you for free room and board.
I presume you're referring to Mr. Norman Curtis.
I'm referring to Nutty Norman, the freeloader.
Uncle Joe, Mr. Curtis may be temporarily financially embarrassed, but he is an ambitious, intelligent, refined, well-educated gentleman.
Don't waste all that hot air. Put it in here.
You're going to be sorry when you find out where he is right now.
In the kitchen eating up all the food?
No, sir. He's gone to Pixley with Floyd and Charlie. He's got a plan to attach a flat car to the back of the train, put benches on it, and bring 50 extra people to our jamboree.
Now, where would he get a flat car?
He says he has connections with the railroad.
His only connections are with a knife and fork.
Well, Floyd and Charlie thought enough of his plan to take him into Pixley with them. In fact, they gave him the throttle.
That's dangerous.
Why?
He might put ketchup on it and eat it.
He sure looks happy, don't he? Of course he does. Poor old hobo, all of his life he's been riding the rods, and now he's at the throttle of the Hooterville Cannonball.
Hey, Norman. Yeah, you really think you can get that flat car?
Well, I told you, fellas, I got connected with this railroad.
Mr. Curtis' office. No, I'm sorry. Mr. Curtis is out of the city for a few days. Secretary of Labor? Yes, I'll tell him. Mr. Curtis' office. No, I'm sorry. He won't be able to go to Washington for the White House conference. Mr. Curtis' office. No, I'm sorry. He's someplace between Hooterville and Pixley. I don't know where they are
Come on, Ma, you can dance it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, thanks. Save that for you young fellas. Uncle Joe and I'll watch from the sidelines.
Well, speak for yourself, Kate. I can shake a foot with any of these young bucks.
Come on, Uncle Joe. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a step you can do. 4. Look, 2 more fellas. Now we both got partners. Come on, Charlie, we'll show you a new dance for the jamboree.
Hold it, girls. I'm afraid there ain't gonna be a jamboree.
What are you talking about?
There's no way for the folks to get here. That fella Curtis has wrecked the Cannonball.
Wrecked the Cannonball?
What?
He just as good as wrecked it. Busted the throttle right smack off.
Can't run a train without a throttle.
How'd it happen?
He tried to show off going up Bleeker's Hill.
Yanked the throttle back so hard he snapped it right in two.
Pretty near pulled the rod right out of the boiler.
Yeah, Floyd and I had to pound it back with a block of wood. Shut off the steam.
Well, what'd you do, walk all the way from Bleeker's Hill?
No, we let it roll backwards and coasted to here.
Well, Kate, what do you think of your refined, intelligent Mr. Curtis now? He's wrecked the train and ruined our jamboree. I hope you're satisfied.
Shh, here he comes.
Well, don't just stand there, Kate. Go get him something to eat. He's probably hungry after all he did today.
I don't know what to say.
Take a crack at goodbye.
Joe. Charlie, can't the throttle be fixed?
I'm afraid we'd have to get a new one.
A new old one. They ain't made them like that in 50 years.
Might as well face it, Kate. That Cannonball can't be fixed in time to bring the folks to the jamboree.
Yes, it can. Now, listen to me, everyone.
Quiet, folks. We're going to hear some words of wisdom from our distinguished hobo guest.
I hadn't intended to reveal my identity to you, but now I think I should. And then you'll know that I can have the train fixed. I am Norman P. Curtis, president of the C&FW Railroad.
Are you sure that throttle can't be fixed?
Don't you believe me?
Norman, this is no time for jokes.
But wait a minute, Kate. I'll prove it to you. Anybody got a dime?
Oh, forget it, Norman. That thing's as phony as you are.
What?
It's got the same kind of connections with the telephone company you got with the railroad. None.
Well, why is it here?
Gives the hotel class, which it's going to need plenty of with you here. Norman, You're pathetic.
Maybe Lon Hocker can fix that.
He's a farmer.
He also does blacksmithing. If he can mend a plow, why can't he forge that together?
How are we going to get up to his place with no train?
Cut through the woods to the county road and hitch a ride.
Let's go, Charlie. It's worth a try.
I just wanted to say I'm awful sorry about Mr. Curtis. Kind of feel like it's my fault for inviting him to stay here.
Oh, Kate, don't be blaming yourself.
It's our fault, too. We let him drive the train.
Kate, I'm kind of worried about Floyd and me going off and leaving you and the girls in Nutty Norman.
But Uncle Joe's here.
Well, that's what I mean. Can you handle two of them?
Get out of here, both of them.
Kate, if I can only get to a telephone, I guarantee you I can have that train running again.
Well, the nearest telephone is in Hooterville.
Well, isn't there any way I can get there?
There's a handcar down by the water tower, but that's a mighty long way to pump.
Well, I was the stroke on the Yale varsity crew that beat Harvard, Princeton, and Cornell. Yeah.
I liked him so much better before he started all that bragging.
What's the matter? You girls haven't touched a bite of your food.
Not hungry. Me either. Uncle Joe, how can you eat at a time like this?
Well, this is a perfect time. When Nutty Norman's at the table, nobody else had a chance.
How do you girls expect to do any dancing when you're not eating?
Who's going to be dancing? Now no one can get here for the jamboree.
Oh, no, let's not give up. We got a lot of things going for us. Maybe Lon Hocker will forge the throttle back together again. Maybe Nutty Norman will... Mr. Curtis will do something.
Please, Kate, not while I'm eating.
Well, he's certainly trying. He's pumping the handcar all the way to Hooterville.
Oh, fine. It's not enough losing the train. Now the handcar's gone.
Well, come on, girls. If you're not going to eat, pick up your plates, take them to the kitchen, and help me. And don't pay any attention to your Uncle Joe about anything he says about Mr. Curtis. I still say, in spite of everything that's happened, that man has something great inside him.
Yeah, our food.
Good afternoon, ladies.
How do you do? Oh, we're waiting for the train.
Well, I wish you luck. Pardon me. Would one of you ladies please let me have a dime? It's very important. Thank you very much. Hello, operator. I want to talk person to person to General Frank Newton. My number is code area 311-555-8324. And I want extension 1111. Operator, charge just a credit account 555-2368L-184. I just gave you the number. Code area 311-555-8324. Extension 1111. Credit account is 555-2368L-184. Oh, this number. Well, why didn't you say so? Hooterville 3. Oh, hello, Frank. This is Norman. Well, how's my favorite general? You old rascal, you've been fooling around with models long enough. How would you like to work on the real thing? Well, of course it's important. I wouldn't ask you otherwise. And Frank, some wonderful people are depending on it. Now listen, I want you to get a hold of George Prentice in Detroit and Dave LaSalle in New York, and I want all of you here in Hooterville the first thing in the morning ready to go to work. Hooterville. Well, get out your map and your magnifying glass, and I'll tell you where it is.
Who is he? That's the hobo Kate Bradley took in. They call him Nutty Norman.
I'll say one thing. You might as well say goodbye to your dime.
You're very nice.
Away from here! Stop eating this train! Just because she sat here since yesterday doesn't mean she won't run again.
Anybody showed up yet?
Well, not yet, but the girls are out looking.
Might as well take that stupid sign down. We ain't gonna have no jamboree.
Uncle Joe, whatever you do, don't start acting gloomy and pessimistic in front of the girls. We gotta keep their spirits up.
Okay.
Mother!
Any sign of the handcar coming from Hooterville?
No, Mother. And it would just break your heart to see the poor old Cannonball. Chickens are laying eggs in her and goats are chewing on her. It's terrible.
Oh, baby, cheer up. Everything's gonna be fine. Isn't it, Uncle Joe?
Oh, you bet. Just fine and dandy.
Yeah.
Mom!
Oh, any sign of Floyd and Charley?
Not a sign, Mother. We hike clear over to the county road.
Well, now, don't get discouraged. Everything's going to be fine. Isn't it, Uncle Joe?
You bet. Just fine and dandy.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna take this stupid sign down. We ain't gonna have no jamboree.
Now, for there.
Norman, jar that loose. Kate.
What's the matter?
That freeloader, Nutty Norman. He's back and he brung his rat pack with him.
Rat pack?
3 more freeloaders, hobos just like him. And this time they're gonna finish the Cannonball for sure.
What do you mean?
They're swarming all over it, taking it apart. They're probably gonna cart it up and haul it away and sell it for junk. Kate, I wouldn't go down there if I was you. They look dangerous.
Oh, I'll be all right.
Well, yell if you need me. I'll be having a bite of lunch.
Frank, communication setups ready to go.
Be with you in a minute.
Norm, the valve rod is shot. What do you suppose kept her going?
Habit. Well, I guess we'd better put another one in, huh?
Norman.
Hello, Kate.
Well, good heavens, what are you doing to the train?
We're getting it ready for the jamboree. That's what you wanted, wasn't it?
Well, I declare you brought in a whole repair crew.
Yeah, well, you never saw a crew like this before.
Oh, they look very experienced.
Gentlemen, this is Mrs. Bradley, the little lady I told you about. Kate, I want you to meet General Frank Newton.
How do you do, ma'am?
General.
Retired, ma'am.
Yes, all he does now is serve as chairman of the board of the Michigan and Southwest Railroad.
Goodness.
And this is George Prentice. He's president of Worldwide Airways.
Ma'am, Newt, let me have the wrench.
And the fellow up in the baggage car is Dave LaSalle. Hey, Dave! He's president of Intercontinental Telephone.
Well, they're certainly a mighty distinguished group.
Kate, the boys have come a long way, and, well, they're working pretty hard. I don't suppose you could scare up a little.
Food. Yeah, well, of course I can. Just give me 15 minutes and then bring your group up to the dining room.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello, Peterson? Peterson? Frank Newton. Now listen, I want the throttle lever off the Emma Sweeney. That's the wood burner in the north wing. Right.
Mighty handy having your own railroad museum, isn't it?
Dave, call my office. I'll have a plane pick it up.
What good will that do? You can't land a jet around here.
They still make parachutes. They can drop it right down the smokestack.
Hey, Peterson! Peterson, put that throttle lever in a metal drop crate and rush it out to the airport. Worldwide Airlines will pick it up.
Dave, get me my office.
Just a minute, Norman. Dave, put me through to my office first.
Okay. Operator, connect me with the main office of Worldwide Airlines. And don't give me that busy circuit routine. You can clear to Chicago, Denver, New Orleans. It doesn't matter, but put it through. My own company, and I can't get a line.
They're all just like Norman. Nuttier than fruitcakes.
By the way, Frank, did you take advantage of the market tip I gave you on Western mining?
Yeah, bought 10,000 shares. Dropped 6 points in a week.
Don't blame me. I got the tip from my secretary.
You've just got the wrong girl. Mine steered me into General Products, and I made almost $250,000 in 3 weeks.
Now, that's the secretary.
Not only that, she's learning to type.
With all your money, what are you going to do with another $250,000?
I think I'll buy a locomotive like the Hooterville Cannonball. Put it in the backyard and work on it weekends. I haven't had so much fun in years.
How about it, Norman? Do you want to sell the Hooterville Cannonball?
Sorry, boys. She's not for sale.
Oh. Squirrel would have a feast in there. Kate, we got to get them hobos out of here as quick as we can. They're plumb raving loony. You ought to hear them talking about the money they got.
Oh, Uncle Joe, when men are down on their luck, they're bound to exaggerate a little. It makes them feel better.
Yeah, well, come listen to the guff they're spouting. It's plumb crazy.
Norman, this is magnificent. Why, it's even better than we used to get at the officers' clubs.
Well, I wouldn't know about that, General. I was an enlisted man myself.
I've eaten all over the world, France, Italy, the Orient, the finest ocean liners. But this is the best, the most delicious food I've ever eaten.
No wonder you're so fond of this place, Norman.
Well, it isn't only the food. There's also Kate.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. I don't blame you.
Mighty attractive woman.
Oh, no.
I don't think they're talking so crazy.
Hey, we got it!
Oh, our hawker came through.
Just like new.
Oh, that's wonderful, boys. Take her down and put her right on.
Oh, please, Kate, feed us first. We're starving.
I'll clear out all the freeloaders.
Hurry up, fellas. Now, that jet'll be through here with us.
Oh, no! Mr. Curtis, what have you got against our train?
That was a beautiful drop.
With that wind drift, it ought to land right in our lap.
When I run an airline, I run an airline.
Look, Mom, it's falling right down by the tracks.
I wonder what it could be.
Well, whatever it is, it's for them. They're running after it.
Kate, I was wrong about those men. I'm big enough to admit it. They ain't hobos. They're spies.
By golly, Norman, I believe she's as good as ever.
She's better than ever. We fixed things on there you didn't even know about.
Sure. They've been riding the rails so long, they're experts.
Let her roll, boys. We're going to have a jamboree after all.
Look great.
Welcome to Shady Rest. Sorry, Oscar.
What do you mean I could use Phoebe for my secretary?
Well, she'll give you some real hot tips on the market. Listen, Phoebe, what'll General Products come and do on the market next week?
Going up.
Hello, Lydia. Nettie, come.
Well, hello. Welcome to Shady Rest. Welcome to Shady Rest.
Oh, Uncle Joe, this is going to be the best jamboree yet. And I didn't even think it was going to come off.
Me neither. Boy, what a jinx that nutty Norman turned out to be.
What do you mean? Why, he was responsible for fixing the train.
Well, that's the least he could have done. Nothing ever happened to it until he came. I tell you, Kate, the man's a jinx.
I thought you said he was a spy.
Well, that's the worst kind. Hi, Charlie.
Charlie. Hello, Floyd. What happened to your hand?
Firebox door bit me.
Darn thing ain't worked in 20 years, and them fellers had to come along and put a spring in it.
Huh?
But Floyd's the only one can double on fiddle. Oh, how can you have a jamboree without a fiddler?
That's easy. You don't.
Sorry, folks.
Like I said, Kate, that feller's a jinx.
Watch it, Joe. Here he comes.
Yeah, let's go, Kate. The boys haven't been to a jamboree in years. They're champing at the bit.
Well, they're not going to need a harness tonight.
What do you mean?
You had to go fix the firebox door.
Yeah, you wrecked his fiddling hand, that's what you did. Now let's see you fix that.
Well, that's the easiest thing in the world. Come on, Floyd.
Yeah, he'll fix it all right. He'll probably wreck the other hand. The jinx.
If it hadn't been for Norman Curtis. Don't you think it's about time you admitted you were wrong?
Oh, I guess so. But how was I to know he could play the fiddle?
Mrs. Bradley, may I have the honor of this dance?
With pleasure, General.
General.
Come on, Joe. Don't be a wallflower.